Hello, everyone. Sorry, I hit the button too soon. Let me go into my page and call it up. There we go. And now I can see the chat. Oh, wow. It has been a long week. This little rascal is now chewing on everything and biting everything. I'm always saying no because she's after the furniture, she's after my shoes, she's after my hands. She has toys, but I haven't found the one that she particularly cares for. So I'm still looking for some of that. She's very tired. She was doing the Zoomies. Oh my gosh. She gets the Zoomies several times a day, which is good because after the Zoomies, she's like this. She is just ready to take her nap. And I'm hoping she sleeps through the whole live, but who knows? If you're here, say hello so that I know I'm live. I can never tell. It says I'm live, but I don't know. And she's a delight. She's a pain at times. And then other times it's like, I know. So she loves to be with me. She follows me everywhere, which is probably good because, I was buffering. Hey, Janice. It does give her some exercise. I've got to get her on the leash. She loves to go outside and take off on me. So I've tried it. She's not real fond of it. So I'm going to put the harness on today and let her run around, let her wear it inside so she gets used to it. And then I'm hoping that, I think it's more the leash. Papillons, at least I think I don't know if it's a trait, but it was the same for Bijou when I had her. They don't like the leash up around their ears. So I have no clue if she's the same way, if it's just a trait of Papillons or what. But she's a mess, but she's mine. That's all I can say at this point. And hopefully, like I said, she will sleep through the whole thing. Loves to have her ears rubbed. I don't know what it is about dogs and their ears. I wished I knew. So, hang on. My iPad says low battery, and if I don't plug it in, I'll lose it, and then I won't know what it looks like. So give me a minute to do that. And it's kind of hard to do. There we go. Okay, it's charging now. Sorry about that. Oh, thanks, Paulette. I forgot to check that before I sat down, but I have 3 ideas for you today. I saw this and I thought, that's a fun thing to do. It's not hard. And if you have stuff prepared ahead of time, you can kind of, I got a wrong side. I don't know which side it is. There it is. I got it. You can kind of do this in like 5 minutes, and it's so easy to do. All right. So I'm going to put her in the crate and hope she lays back down and goes to sleep, and we can get started. All right, girlie, there you go. Okay. Let me get ready. And, I got to pull up my Zoom screen so I can spotlight. Okay. I can use my Zoom screen to take and change the, okay. Oh, here we go. All right. I'm going to pull over my camera. I almost didn't. Oh, I forgot to tell you, make sure you have your beverage of choice. because we're going to get started and have some fun. All right, I moved my tea out of the way because if I don't, it'll end up on my project. All right, for this, you're going to need a piece of white, and it's 4 by 5 1/4. And I decided to do the, excuse me, I'm going to use the Ladybug punch, and I will need the dots for the wings. And I forgot to pull those out, so let me grab them real quick. I thought I would do the same thing I've always done, a couple each, couple of different ideas through the seasons. I need to start throwing in winter, Christmas, but so I've got this. And then you're going to need some ink pads. And I chose colors red and black for the Ladybug, and then the green because they're usually found on green leaves. Now this, I have not tried this with the Garden Green full-size pad. I know it will work with ink spots, but what you're going to do is you're going to take your ink spot. You need something underneath that's protected, and you're just going to drag it across like so. All right, does not have to be perfect. I am then going to take my real red and I'm going to kind of overlap them. I'm going to do that. And now let's see how the Garden Green does. And I'm thinking I need to do a corner, and I'm thinking I need to start way up here. Not, all right, close. The ink spots are the best. And if you don't have ink spots, make some. I probably should have, but I wanted to try this and see. Now I want to clean this up because when I go to do my next one, I don't want that ink on my next card. All right, so I've got this, and now we're going to take, I'm shoving things around here. We're going to take and we're going to make our Ladybug. This one is a quick and easy card because the punch does all the work. So I'm going to punch out a Ladybug. All right. And then I'm going to stamp the wings, and I'm going to use a full pad to get the image on here. I'm going to stamp it in the middle and hope it's good enough. We will see. All right, and I've got to cut this off. Oh, I got a dimensional stuck on there. Let me find some place to stick it. Okay. All right. Well, guess what? I stamped it wrong, so I'm going to flip it over and stamp it on the back. Yeah, I couldn't reverse it. All right, it's going to go in. It's got to go this way. I couldn't reverse it because then I would have nothing to hold on to. I probably should have just cut off this end and used it, but I didn't think of that when I was putting it together. So I'm going to get this in here. And there we go. I've punched the wings. Get that off of there. And let's get this put together. I'm gonna put this flat. This is kind of, hey, Sharon. Well, hey, I don't know what I did, but it worked. Which side is better? This one. I'm just gonna put some glue on here. Excuse me, I got a tickle this morning. I've had a tickle the last couple of days. I need to watch the weather and see what the pollen count is. There could be something out there that's affecting me. All right. Now, this goes on here like this. Quick, easy, simple. So let me put this on, and then we have to decide what color card base. The lady I watched used white and white, but we don't have to use white and white. All right, I'm looking for some pieces here. I've got a bunch of little tiny pieces. I'm just going to grab this one that I'm trying to use up. I'm going to put it there. I'll put another one up here. So let me see. Get these off. All right. Now, this is just going to go on here like so. And it needs a sentiment. Before I post it, I will put a sentiment on. Sometimes I have to sit and think and look at it and find the right one. So we could put that on a black card base. I'm pulling out my card bases so you can see. So there it is on black. We can put it on a red card base. I don't have a red one done, so we'll just put it there. There's the red, or we can use garden green, which is the green that I used. Again, I don't have card bases done. Usually I have this done ahead of time. I got to get better about organizing my time. Or the green. So, which one should we use? Let me get this put away real quick. Because if not, I'll knock it over and then I'll have card pieces everywhere. All right. So there's the black. There's the red. And there's, oops, the red's not in there very good. Move it over a little. And there's the green. Which color should I use? I'm going to look for some gems. And I think I'm going to use the brushed metallic. Okay, Paulette likes the garden green. Any other choices? I'm going to use the gold brushed metallic gems on there. So, oh, I've got two there. I can use that up, those up. Green, okay, green is the winner. So let me cut this. Now, wouldn't you know it, I've got everything stacked up over here, so I'm going to be using my trimmer. I've got all my pieces over there stacked up for the next card. All right, and I'm going to cut this at 5.5. And I'm not going to put the rest of this, the black, I don't think I'll use again, but I have some red, but I'm going to move this out of the way. All right, let's get this on here and we'll do card number 2. I ran out of ink spots, so I couldn't make any ink spots. Hopefully, this mat, I got it on Amazon. It is not a craft mat. It's a Silpat mat. I do not recommend them for water. Not good, but something like this, it's fine. So if you're going to use water, get a craft mat. I like this versus ours because it's bigger. I like a bigger mat to work with. All right, and I think I'm going to put some down here. Big one and a little one, like so. And I still have space for a sentiment over here. So there's card number 1. All right, so we've done summer. Let's do fall. I'm slowly moving summer out, and I'm going to do fall, Halloween, and winter. So the fall card, I went back to a retired set, Gorgeous Leaves. I love this set. Now this is going to be interesting because I do have a cherry cobbler, and I forgot to get my dauber ink spot, but I didn't have an ink spot for the orange and the yellow. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let me grab, I'm grabbing all my pieces that I need that are behind me. I don't know what that one's for. All right, there's that. Now, this over here. I need to do boxes. I've got some bins. That's what I need to do. Thanks, Sharon. So I thought I would use the Gorgeous Leaves bundle. It's not a bundle. You can't get it anymore. It's retired. I'm sorry. And I'm going to use that image. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my image. And I'm going to ink this up with crushed curry. If you're going to ink it up with your lightest color, the whole thing. All right. And I didn't really need the sponge dauber. Now I'm going to take my sponge dauber and pumpkin pie, and I'm going to add some color there. And then I'm going to take my crushed curry and my sponge dauber, not crushed curry, cherry cobbler, and add some color. And then I'm going to stamp it on a scrap of white. All right, so I've got some nice color going on there. And you know what? I was supposed to add in some brown and I totally forgot. One of those things, you can easily add some brown to it. Brown would have looked nice, but I didn't. All right, so let me get these put away so I don't forget where they go. There, okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, I will cut that out in a minute. I wanna get my panel done. I'm gonna start with I'm gonna start with the pumpkin pie down at the bottom. Okay. We'll see how this works. I'm using the corner, and I'm using the corner that's closest. See how this is so far away from the edge? I'm using the one that's closest to the edge. Whoops. The key is not to do what I did. All right, so I've got that. The red will be easier. All right, so let's do some red. All right, so I've got that. And you can add more swipes. You can make it bigger. This way, it's nice. Now, I'm going to let that dry and cut this out so that I have it ready to go. And I'm doing a Halloween one last. And I pulled in a retired set. It was it's one of my favorites. I have several that are cute. I didn't particularly care for the Halloween set this year, so I thought I'm going to use what I already have. I encourage you to shop your craft stash. I'm doing the same. All right, so I've got my leaf. All right, there. I also took the die that cuts out the lacy one, and I used the brushed gold paper, and I cut out the 2 leaves. So let's get this one put together, but I need to take and wipe my mat off. So what do you think of this idea, guys? It works great with, as you see, with the ink pads. I do have cubes in Tim Holtz colors. So, all right, so I'm going to add this on here, and I'm going to put this on with glue. So I've got to put dots. So just keep that in mind, that spots work better. So if you have some of the Tim Holtz ones, use those. And I'm just going to grab the tip of everything. All right, all the pieces. I'm going to put that down like so. I'm going to put a block on top of it so that it holds it in place for that glue to grab. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. And you'll see, I had a red. I've got a red. I got to get a crushed curry. Oh, I need one on the tip. Give me one of these that I've cut. It's small. I don't worry too much about the tail. I can take and glue it down if I need to. I'm pulling my colors for my bases. All right, and I've got one of each of the colors so far. All right, so I wonder what gems I have. I probably have something retired that would work. All right, and I'm just going to put this, I'm going to put it at a different angle. Ooh, you know what I'm going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull in my linen thread, and I'm going to make a multi-loop bow. All right, so I've got it once, twice, add the 3rd finger once, twice, add the 4th finger once, twice. I'm going to use my scissors and cut it. All right, now I've got all these loops and everything. I need this out. I had the same problem on my video the other day. There. Now I'm going to take the 2 smallest loops and pull them up, and I'm going to hold them in place with my thumb, and I'm kind of adjusting it so that the loops are the same size. Then I'm going to take the next 2 loops, pull them up. All right, and I'm going to adjust these to be about the same size. And then I'm going to take my last 2 loops and pull them up. All right, now I'm going to put that, and this is the feet of all feet. If you have reversible tweezers, use your reversible tweezers. I have done this so much that I can do it without the reversible tweezers. All right, now I am going to tie another knot. But before I tie that knot, I want to make sure that this is in the center and it's off slightly. So I'm going to shift it. I'm going to pull it tight, tie another knot, good and tight, and I'm going to cut it. Now I'm going to get a drink here. Much better. All right, now I want to pull all my loops down. And if you have one that's on the front, I pull it to the back. And I'm going to take my blue dots, which are here, and I am going to add a glue dot to the left of the knot, take it off, and a glue dot to the right of the knot. And the reason I do it on each side is it grabs all of that twine and it holds it in place. All right, I'm going to put that on there. All right, and then I can trim these a little bit shorter. And then what I want to do is I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to pull the loops one up and one down. So I'm separating them out. You want to do that. You do this side, and then I take and scrunch it. So I get a nice big fluffy bow. I've done this with other ribbons besides linen thread. So then if I scrunch it up, see, I get a nice pretty bow like that. And I don't have cherry cobbler. I don't have pumpkin pie. I guess it'll be the gold again. I'm going to be using up all my gold. Darn. Yeah, brass would have looked good if this was done in brass, but it's not. It's done in gold. So I'm just going to do 3 this time. Oh, I'm trying to take the top off and it was never put on. And I'm going to keep it this way so I have some place for my sentiment. There we go. So there's the second card, but we have to decide what color we're going to put it on. All right, so here's the red. All right, there's the red. There's the yellow. Ooh, that one's kind of striking. And then here's the pumpkin. And I've got to move it up a little so you can see it. All right, there. Still not far enough. Well, we'll do it this way. All right. Pumpkin's okay. It doesn't do anything for me. So which color? Red, crushed curry, which I kind of like, or pumpkin pie. Which one is your favorite? And we can go with that one. Do them again. Red. Give it some time for you to look at while I get this stuff all moved out of the way. Okay. There's the crushed curry. I'm going to move this away so you can kind of see. And here's the pumpkin pie. So far, we have a vote for the crushed curry. Paulette says the yellow, which is crushed curry. Any other votes? Okay. Going once. Going twice. Sold. Paulette wins with the crushed curry. So I'm going to move that out of the way. And this one has not been cut or scored. So let me do this. It's pretty close. It's probably a piece I used for a layer. So let's see, I need 5 1/4. Yep, it's a piece I used for a layer. And then 4 1/4. Well, we did pretty good during the hurricane. We had lots of rain and a lot of wind, but I have some branches down. That's it. We didn't lose electricity or any of that. So I was grateful for that. I was not looking forward to it. But I was prepared. I did the normal things. All my life, I've lived on well water. Oh, poo. This is too long. Hold on. So when there was ever a threat of a storm, I wonder how this one ended up. I don't want to cut the bottom. I'm going to cut the top. How long is it? It says 5 1/4. I cut this wrong. I cut it at 5 1/4, not 5 1/2. I was wondering, hang on, let me get another piece. So because of it, with a well, it runs on electricity. So if you lose electricity, you have no water. When I was growing up, we often had storms and would lose our electricity. So we learned real quick, and I know people laugh at this, but we used to fill our tub up so we could flush our toilets. Well, I'm on city water here, but if the pump goes down, I still don't have water. So I filled up my tub with water. Actually, I just didn't empty it from the night before when I took my bath. And I figured, well, if anything, if I have to, I can use it. But, you know, I don't know if any of the rest of you remember that growing up. I mean, I remember going days with no electricity. And so we would just fill up the tub so we could flush the toilets. And I got to thinking about it. I have a grill so I can heat up food and cook. So, I mean, I'm not doing too bad. Okay, there's card 2. And now we're going to do the Halloween card. I love Halloween. Love it, love it, love it. And let's see. I need the black. Where's my little black? Here it is. Okay. I love this bundle. I used this little guy in a card the other day, coming down the side of an envelope, and I only did this, and then I took a Micron pen and added the rest of the dots. But I've used this with this. I love this. It's like, oh, all right. So I am using Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, and the black. And I think I'm going to start with Parakeet Party at the bottom. All right. And I kind of got this. All right. There. I'm just doing some swiping. I went a little too low, but that's okay. Now I'm going to use the black and I'm going to go across. I'll make this one wider so you can see the difference. And now the Orchid Oasis. I love these colors for Halloween. All right, so there we have it. I'm telling you, the ink cubes are the best. All right, I'm going to get rid of this because I don't need it. And I am using the punch for this one. And I pulled in some glitter paper. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to punch the hat out of black. All right, there's my black. And I don't need these pieces, but save them. You can use them on another one. I think I'm going to do the band out of Orchid Oasis. And then I'm going to do the stars out of Parakeet Party. And I'm using the darker edge. I love my glitter paper. All right, now this, and there should be a third one. There it is. It flew across. And then I need to put this. And I didn't get any of the other pieces, so I'm good. But I'm going to save that. And what I do is I put it in my case. And I just kind of stick it down here at the bottom. And then when I need to use it again, like I could use these for, I could do the same one and just do a different color hat with it. Wouldn't that be cute? All right, so now with this, I will tell you, I do not have success with anything sticking to that other than glue dots. Glitter and glue dots are good. Glitter and glue are not. So I'm going to use my glue dots. I'm going to put a glue dot at each end. Okay. Now I know not everybody celebrates Halloween, but is there anybody out there that loves it as much as I do, or am I just the crazy one in the group? I'm going to put these down and then I'll pick it up with my pokey tool. All right. And what I can take and do is, there's that, like this one, I just kind of mush it all behind. No, it didn't, it kind of came out. So I just try and mush it behind the object. All right. And then this is going to go on right there, which is perfect with dimensionals. All right, let me see what I have here. Here's one I can cut. All right, let me see. I'll go this way. Oh, this one's, every once in a while, this one piece doesn't want to come off easy, but I like using up my pieces. And give me this, and I'll just cut it this way. And I have this. All right. So, all right, so save those little tiny pieces, use them all up. I know people who throw that away. It's like, no, those are so good. This has got the packing tape on the back. I need to go back to that. It was so much easier. All right, let me see. I'm going to put that right there. And let's see, I have some gems. I have the new, I think I have the old ones, but I don't know. I was going to look to see if I have the old in color gems to use up. This is the pearls. but that's 22 to 24. Must be up underneath of there. But I was looking to see if that's the new ones or the old ones. Not that it matters. See if there's a difference in the sparkle. You know, me and my sparkle. That must be the only ones I have. I thought I had the other ones. Oh, well, maybe I used them up and these are the new ones. All right, then we have to decide what color to put this on. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to go with the Parakeet Party. I think that would be nice since it's up there near the Orchid Oasis. So, and I'm not going to add a sentiment because I have a feeling the sentiment's going to have to go down at the bottom. I got to go back into my stash and find a retired set, Halloween set. I think, oh yeah, I have the, I don't know if any of you remember, but I have the, what are they called? The cookie cutter ones. All right, now let's see which, all right, here's the black. There's the black. All right. Decide which one we're going to put it on. There's the Orchid, I mean the Orchid Oasis. There's the Parakeet Party. And here's the Orchid Oasis. So which one is the best? All right, let's look at them again. Here's the black. All right, take that away so it's not confusing. All right. Here's the Parakeet Party, and you can call it green. I'll know which one you're talking about. And here's the Orchid Oasis. I was thinking the same thing, Paulette. You and I are on the same wavelength today. I think the black looks really, it really makes those colors pop. The green, I didn't particularly care for because it was just too much. So we're going to put it on the black. Oh, this one's not scored. Let me score it. Make sure it's 5.5, of which it is 4 1/4. All right. And then I'll show all 3 cards to you again. Get rid of some of this stuff so I have some space to put it down. Okay. But I think this is a great, any of you that get Paper Pumpkin, you will have all your spots. So pull it out, pull them out and use them. I have tons of colors. I have multiples of some. I have like 2 and 3 of certain colors. All right, so here was our first card, which was the Ladybug. Here's the second card, which was Fall. And then there's the Halloween card. So some cute ideas. When you swipe your ink pad across your cardstock, it's called swinking. Laurel Beard was the first one who did this, and she titled it Swinking. So now you have a new term that you can use. I'm trying to get some of this put away because it was all on my seat. So, what did you think of this technique today? Oh, thanks, Paulette. I think it's a great idea. I want to try some winter cards with some of the new paper that we have. You know, snowflakes, the Season of Chic has those pretty snowflakes in it. Wouldn't that be beautiful in blues? Ooh, I may have to make some. It's just so cute and I love it. I just have to get wait till my ink cubes come in so I can make my swipers, because it does definitely work better than the full pad. All right, I'm going to get ready and change the spotlight back to me. And thanks for joining me today. And I hope I've taught, oh, thanks, Barb. I hope I've taught you something new and fun to do. I love sharing ideas with you. And, you know, I saw this, I don't even remember who the demo, she wasn't a demo, she was another crafter. And she was doing 5 minutes something, 5-minute card making or something like that. But she had a whole bunch of different ideas, but this one I loved. Some of the rest of them I've done and they were okay, but I had not done this one, so I wanted to show it to you. All right, guys, thanks for visiting with me. Have a great weekend. It's sunny here. I hope we don't get any more rain. We've had enough for a while. And enjoy your weekend. Bye.